Buckle up, folks. Picture this: you've escaped to the ultimate safe haven, a super secure underground bunker where danger's just a distant memory. Life's good until Abi-Ashoa, a sleek black orb materializes out of thin air, and before you can process what's happening, a countdown starts ticking away your last 60 precious seconds. It's not magic or sci-fi. This is an interdimensional attack that just landed on your doorstep. But how did it get here? And more importantly, can we survive the impending doom? You're curious about the secrets that lie beyond our familiar 3 dimensions, and for good reason. It's like trying to wrap your head around an invisible elephant, right? Let's go back in time to the 16th century when mathematician Michael Stiefel first proposed the idea of adding a 4th dimension to our cube, which we normally think of as having only width, length, and height. But why did Stiefel feel like this higher dimension was unnatural? Fast forwarding a century, another scientist, John Wallace, echoed similar concerns about 4-dimensional objects, calling them monsters that defy the laws of nature. So, what were these trailblazers so scared of in something they believed didn't even exist? Get ready for a mind-blowing concept. Meet Charles Howard Hinton, the pioneer who dared to bring the 4-dimensional cube kit, or tesseract, into our reality back in the late 19th century. To picture this, imagine adding 2 more directions to your usual up, down, left, right, forward, and backward kata and ana, which are essentially up forward, down backward, and their counterparts. But here's the twist: these additional dimensions are invisible to us. So, how can we even visualize something that defies our 3-dimensional world? Hinton's work allowed us to project a 4D cube into our 3D reality, resulting in a truly otherworldly image, new faces popping out of nowhere, as if emerging from an extra dimension beyond our understanding. You won't believe who was blown away by Charles Howard Hinton's tesseract, none other than Albert Einstein himself. That patent office clerk turned genius was so inspired by Hinton's concept of a 4-dimensional cube that it influenced his groundbreaking special theory of relativity in 1905. According to Einstein, our universe is made up of 3 dimensions we can see and touch plus 1 more, time itself as the 4th dimension. And here's where it gets even wilder: gravity isn't just some mysterious force. It's actually massive objects warping this 4-dimensional fabric called space-time. So, if a bomb were to magically appear in your bunker through time, you'd be safe. Einstein's theory says you can't change the past from the future, so that explosion would never happen. But it doesn't stop there. A few years later, in 1921, German math wizard Theodor Kaluza shook things up with his theory of everything. He added an extra spatial dimension to our universe and somehow merged gravity with another fundamental force called electromagnetism. It was a game-changing idea at the time, but it wasn't until Swedish physicist Oskar Klein joined the party that things got really interesting. He plugged Kaluza's theory into quantum mechanics, hoping for a total win, but sadly, it didn't quite work out. Here's why. According to this crazy-sounding Kaluza-Klein theory, tiny particles like electrons and atoms would actually weigh a whopping 5 kilograms. Yeah, you read that right, not grams or ounces, but kilos. Clearly, this just isn't how the universe works. You're probably thinking, wait, isn't the whole extra dimension thing still just a theory? Well, here's something to think about. Take a regular piece of paper and imagine you can only exist on its surface. That's it, no looking over the edge or peeking from behind. In this 2D world, every object would be flat, right? This concept was actually explored by Howard Hinton in his book Flatland, where he imagined what life would be like living as a 2-dimensional being. So, in a weird way, your paper has its own tiny universe with its own rules and logic. Isn't that trippy? Imagine you're floating above your piece of paper Flatland, able to see everything at once. All the continents and oceans are laid out before you. No matter if someone tries to hide away in a super secluded bunker, they can't escape your all-seeing view from up high. Now, let's flip this idea around. For someone living in that 2D world, a bomb dropped on them would appear to come out of nowhere, like magic. This is basically the same principle when it comes to us and extra dimensions. Just as the 3D being can see everything on its paper Flatland, we're like tiny beings stuck in our own 3-dimensional reality, unable to hide from or fully comprehend the perspective of a creature with 4 dimensions. It's almost like how some people might view a higher power, we just can't wrap our heads around it. Buckle up, because modern science has got some mind-blowing stuff to share. Astrophysicists have discovered that our reality is actually filled with something called dark matter. It's like an invisible force that only interacts with normal matter through gravity and gives galaxies most of their mass. The search for this mysterious substance was hitting a wall, but then came the really wild idea: what if dark matter is coming from white holes? I know it sounds like a plot from a sci-fi novel, but just go with it. So here's the deal. Instead of black holes sucking everything into a tiny point called a singularity, they might actually be spitting stuff out into an extra fourth dimension. And guess what comes out the other side? White holes, which could be where this dark matter is coming from. It's like our understanding of space-time just got turned on its head. Imagine space-time as a massive recycling center where black holes send out a tidal wave of stuff into an invisible dimension. It's like they're constantly unloading their cargo. This ejected mass is completely out of sight, but its gravitational pull still affects our three-dimensional world, which could be the key to understanding dark matter. But can we actually see or touch this extra dimension? Well, scientists got a taste of that when LIGO detected a massive collision between two neutron stars 130 million light-years away from us on August 17, 2017. It was like a cosmic explosion. If additional dimensions really do exist, the gravitational waves from this event would have bounced off them, making the signal we received much weaker. So basically, if our theories are correct, the echoes of that cataclysmic crash should be whispering secrets to us about hidden dimensions. So, we've got a mystery on our hands. Can we really see beyond the three dimensions we know and love? After BIGEXPLINering some mind-blowing numbers, scientists are almost certain that we're living in a four-dimensional universe with three spatial dimensions and one all-important time dimension. But here's the thing. Just because we haven't directly observed any extra dimensions doesn't mean they don't exist. In fact, many physicists believe our reality is more like a multi-layered cake. Think several layers of dimensions that are hidden from us, but still have a huge impact on our universe. One of the most popular theories, born out of Einstein's ideas and decades of experimentation, suggests that these extra dimensions could be right under our noses. Let's kick things off with a super simple concept. Imagine you're on a never-ending treadmill. You can only move forward or backward in a straight line. That's basically a one-dimensional object. Now, here's where it gets crazy cool. Back in 1968, an Italian physicist named Gabriele Veneziano had this wild idea that the building blocks of our universe could be tiny particles that vibrate like strings on this super long, one-dimensional line. It was a pretty out there concept at the time, but hold on to your seat because it got even more mind-blowing. In 1974, two other scientists, John Schwarz and Joel Shirk, took Veneziano's idea to the next level by showing that these string vibrations could somehow magically tie together not just quantum physics, but also gravity. Yeah, you read that right. They finally found a way to make gravity work with the super smart world of quantum particles. So, you're wondering what happened next? Well, here's the thing. When physicists plugged in Veneziano's string vibrations into their equations, they hit a major roadblock. It turned out that for gravity to work with quantum particles, they needed an extra dimension of space where these tiny strings could really get moving and create some serious gravitational waves. This led them to dust off an old theory called the Kaluza-Klein model, and voila, string theory was born. But here's the thing. As they started trying to explain more and more particles and interactions using this new approach, more and more extra dimensions kept popping up out of nowhere. We're talking 6, 9, and eventually a whopping 26 dimensions. That's right, it's like our familiar three-dimensional world is just scratching the surface. Fast forward to 1995 when physicist Edward Witten stepped up and unified all those string theories into something called M-theory. Talk about a game changer. With M-theory, physicists could finally explain all known interactions in the universe using just 11 dimensions. 10 of them are spatial, and one is time. So, where exactly do these extra dimensions hide? Well, it's actually kind of cool. Imagine you have an incredibly sharp, polished katana that looks totally flat to our eyes. But if you zoom in with a super powerful electron microscope, you'd discover an insane three-dimensional landscape of tiny peaks and valleys. These microscopic features are so small they don't affect how we experience the sword's surface, but they're there nonetheless. The same might just be true for those extra dimensions. Maybe they're hiding in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered by some seriously advanced tools, or who knows, maybe even a new way of thinking. Here's the twist: what if those tiny features aren't just a cool microscopic effect on our katana, but actually play a huge role for particles like electrons? For them, it's not just about looks. These minuscule peaks and valleys are real deal breakers. They turn a 2D surface into a full-on 3D landscape. Now, apply that same idea to space itself. Your familiar three-dimensional universe might seem smooth and consistent, but what if you zoom in super close, down to the Planck scale? We're talking mind-bogglingly tiny, 10 to the negative 35th power meters. String theorists are convinced that it's exactly at this extreme level where you'll find all those extra dimensions hiding out in these wild, exotic mathematical structures called Calabi-Yau manifolds. Think of these Calabi-Yau manifolds as secret subway tunnels within our universe, Dave. And only the tiniest of travelers, strings, and multi-dimensional membranes made from them can squeeze through. Now, don't worry, even if this string theory holds up, no atomic bombs or lone electrons will be able to slip into our world undetected via these tiny passages. The bad news: back in the 70s, British physicist Tom Kibble sounded the alarm about potentially hazardous objects from string theory that could be lurking in the shadows. But here's a jaw-dropping update. Last fall, scientists at India's Indian Institute of Astrophysics made a groundbreaking discovery, and it looks like two galaxies colliding in this image, but hold up, it's actually just one. You might think this mind-bending phenomenon is just a result of gravitational lensing, where a massive object warps the view of something behind it. But nope, there's nothing blocking our view here. So what's going on? It turns out that our telescopes have spotted something truly extraordinary: a cosmic string. This is basically a tear in space-time itself, which formed when the universe was just a hot mess during its super-fast cooling and expansion phase. Now, these cosmic strings can be absolutely massive. We're talking thousands to billions of light years in length. Yet they're incredibly thin, making them some of the most elusive and mysterious objects out there. But here's where things take a wild turn. If these cosmic strings are as thin as the Planck scale, that means they could potentially punch through folded dimensions and rip open a portal to anywhere in space-time, even straight into your bunker. Now, we've yet to find any evidence of these strings or extra dimensions with our experiments. And despite what critics say, string theory itself hasn't been completely debunked. So for now, it's anyone's game, which means our existence is still hanging by a thread. If higher dimensions are out there, they could pose an existential threat that we're not even close to understanding or preparing for. Breaking news: scientists at the Large Hadron Collider have hit the gas on an incredible discovery. Back in January 2024, researchers analyzed some mind-blowing findings about the Higgs boson they first detected over a decade ago. And here's the twist: it turns out that both then and now, something weird is going on with this fundamental particle. When protons crash into each other, the detectors pick up clues from its decay products, kind of like piecing together the remnants of a car wreck to guess what make it was. The question is, what does this mystery mean for our understanding of the universe? Get ready to rev up your curiosity. The fragments of the Higgs boson are like puzzle pieces, but they don't always fit the expected pattern. According to our current understanding, detectors should spot certain byproducts in specific numbers, but this fresh study just shook things up. It found a super rare decay happening twice as often as scientists had predicted. Some experts think this could be linked to hidden dimensions where the Higgs boson is hanging out with an unknown partner. Now, this would usually be a cool, fringe idea, but remember that back in 2018, British scientist Martin Breeze issued a warning. Experiments at the Large Hadron Collider might just create microscopic black holes. The implications are huge and leave us wondering what other secrets these powerful collisions could unlock. Hold on tight, because this gets intense. Some scientists are saying we're safe, that our proton collisions aren't strong enough to kickstart black holes. But what if they're wrong and something unexpected happens? If these folded dimensions do play a role, as the Higgs boson hints, we could be playing with fire. A tiny black hole might pop up in the collider or even nearby, and trust me, you won't have time to react, just a few fractions of a second. The real horror scenario: within 10-15 minutes, Earth could get sucked into a dark dimension, never to return. It's a thought that'll give you goosebumps. The universe is on a wild ride. Not only could uncharted dimensions compress and create black holes, they could also cause an epic expansion. Scientists have observed that our cosmos is growing at an incredible speed, driven by something called dark energy lurking in space's vacuum. But here's the thing, even experts admit this explanation doesn't fully add up. It's like they're describing a cosmic math problem with missing variables. The more new space forms, the faster it pushes outward, but what really fuels this force? You see, some think dark energy's just a convenient patch job for broken theories. But I dug deeper and found a mind-blowing alternative. Picture this: imagine galaxies drawn on a balloon, and as you blow it up, they zoom away from each other. Astronomers in our hypothetical flatland would be stumped. Why are things spreading out so fast? The answer: the balloon represents an extra dimension we can't see, causing the expansion. Now, what if our universe has a hidden dimension where gravity waves can't penetrate? It's like a cosmic force field that could change everything. That's why we don't notice it lurking in the shadows. This mysterious realm keeps growing, forcing our familiar 3D universe to stretch out nonstop. But beware, there's a ticking time bomb in this cosmic expansion. If pushed too far, this hidden dimension could rip through our reality like a balloon bursting under pressure. So, what if our universe isn't held together by dark energy tearing apart galaxies, but rather this unseen force threatening to shatter the very fabric of space and time? The real danger isn't galaxies breaking apart, it's the cosmic fabric of space-time itself tearing to shreds, leaving nothing and no place safe. But here's a mind-blowing twist: what if we've already been connected to these ghostly dimensions? You know I'm always diving into the world's most intriguing declassified files. Lately, videos from the Pentagon have had me hooked, especially when former intelligence officer David Grush revealed to Congress that some of these unexplained phenomena might not be from our reality after all. His words still echo in my mind. Now, here's where it gets really wild. David Grush dropped a bombshell saying that these unexplained objects might not be from outer space at all, but actually from a hidden higher dimension right here on Earth. Can you imagine living alongside beings so advanced they'd seem like gods to us? They're like the dimensions we can't see or touch, just like how flatlanders in a 2D world would struggle to grasp our 3-dimensional reality. And if these beings haven't caused any harm, maybe interacting with them could be our ticket to a brighter future, ushering in an era of unprecedented prosperity and growth for humanity. What's your take on this mind-bending idea? Think about it. Are we just tiny specks living in a limited 3D world, unaware of what lies beyond our reality? The possibility that higher dimensional beings could be living right here on Earth, right under our noses, is both thrilling and unsettling. It challenges everything we thought we knew about the universe and our place in it. What if these entities aren't just passive observers, but rather active participants in our world, working alongside us or even guiding humanity's evolution?